AskReddit by Bushidark0. What do you secretly judge people for? People's self-awareness, like when they watch TikToks loud in a quiet room without headphones. Or not knowing how to act in certain establishments. Ugh, I was on a flight and there was this 20-something-year-old behind me blasting TikToks that I could hear through my soundproof headphones. I have no clue where there's no social awareness. People who throw trash out of their cars onto the highway street. People who just deliberately litter outdoors in a park or at an event. Yay. I don't secretly judge those people though. If I could, I'd throw the trash back to them. Being obliviously in the way. Like getting to the end of an escalator and just standing there. Or standing with a group of people in a doorway or aisle. Or stopping to stare at your phone in the middle of the sidewalk. Just move out of the way like 2 steps and everyone's life is easier. I'd add to this, people who are trying to board an elevator before letting the people inside get out. Ugh. Things they decide to post online. No one will support me in this, but I suffer from that. I challenge everyone to copy and paste this into their status to show support. I bet no one will, because no one cares. I always feel like replying "oh shut up" with this passive-aggressive guilt and manipulation. If no one likes you, it's because of crap like this, not because you suffer from. Parents being jerks to their children and stepchildren. Sad part is those kids will most likely grow up and raise their own children the same way. When people don't clear their tables and leave rubbish behind at food courts or fast food restaurants. Add movie theaters to that list. People are animals. Littering. If you knowingly throw trash on the ground, you don't deserve the beautiful world we live in. Go live in Chernobyl or your local landfill, you piece of trash. Ironically, wildlife in Chernobyl is starting to flourish due to lack of human interaction. How they talk behind someone's back. I like saying nice things behind other people's backs. I've had a few of those come back around myself and it's a special joy learning that someone says nice things about you when you aren't there, so I try to spread that. Letting their kids act like assholes and pretending not to notice. However, I don't judge them if I can tell they're stressed and trying their best. Sometimes kids will act like assholes no matter what. It's really more at how the parents act. At a blow-up planetarium projector show yesterday, this lady's kid keeps slapping the floor to hear the echo over and over. I ignore it, whatever, kids are kids. Then the kid starts jumping and falling back on the inflated wall, causing the projection to bounce for everyone in attendance. Not just a couple of times but over and over. The kid was like 5. No way am I remotely upset at the kid, but the mom, who is sitting right next to the kid. Christ, what an asshole. Not having social awareness. Talking loudly in a restaurant, taking up a space on the sidewalk to take photos, holding up a line at a restaurant, etc. Both my parents exactly. Walk around the house yelling into their phone, watch videos without headphones at max volume with every door in the room open, stopping randomly walking in the street. It's just inconsiderate. Not putting shopping carts back at the corral. The worst offenders are the ones who leave the cart 1-2 spaces away from the corral. Like that's plain laziness now. Being unkind to animals. I simply don't trust you after seeing that. Also littering. Like throwing shit out of your car as you drive. Just dump it at the gas station FFS. You're going to be there eventually. Help rejecting complainers. I call these people assholes. Plastering their kids all over social media. People who talk a lot. Like people who are just bullshitters. They say lots of words and nothing ever materializes. I can't help but judge those people like it's my career. I do this a lot. But usually it's 'cause I'm nervous. As soon as I walk away, I began feeling ashamed for even opening my mouth lol. How they behave to waiters and workers. Giving unfettered access to the internet to their children. My parents let me do this about 20 years ago. To be fair to my parents, they were boomers that didn't truly understand the full effects the internet could have on a growing mind. So I don't hold my fuck up of a life against them. But now, in 2024, you have absolutely no excuse. We are more aware than ever the adverse side effects of social media and growing up terminally online. Make your children go outside. For fuck's sake. Being loud in public places. Or residential ones. I have never realized how loud some people can be with guests in apartments. And not even care. People who like to complain about their circumstances over and over again yet won't do anything to change them. Or as they're complaining about them, still opting to make the worst decisions, and still sobbing how life is so unfair. Holier than thou religious people who care way more about their church community, who's in it, what they do for a living, etc., than they do about actual scripture. Ugh, yes. In some communities you'd see those people be the worst bully. My sister lived that. Pretty shitty people. Sadly made me hate religion. I judge men for not washing their hands after using the bathroom. Those people deserve to be judged. It's kind of scary how many men don't wash their hands after touching their junk. Chewing loudly. My mama always says if I can hear you chewing, I'm plotting your death. When people play music out loud or have a very vocal phone conversation whilst in a quiet public place. People who date assholes and then complain about them being assholes. Like, you know this girl cheated on her last boyfriend. You know this guy is on terrible terms with his last 3 girlfriends because they said they felt misled used. And yet you chose to date them. Not saying anyone deserves to be treated that way, but what the fuck were you thinking? One thing I've only ever seen brought up recently is the impact of a loved one dating an asshole has on the loved one's family and friends. Our great friend is dating an asshole, which means asshole is now going to be in my life somewhat, or at the very least I'm going to hear endless complaints about said asshole. Even scarier if that asshole is violent. Sometimes they'll also target their partner's loved ones. Interrupting other PPL when they're talking, or ignoring them. Just rude as hell. Give common respect please. And on the flip side, when the other person interrupts, realizes it, then apologizes and encourages you to finish, or you're in a group and they interrupt the person who interrupted you and encourages you to continue. That's the shit right there. Melts my fucking heart when someone does that for me, because I talk slow, unintentionally. I wish I could get to the point quicker.